Hey guys, Mike Robertson here, and after last week's video about building better training weeks, I got a great follow-up question about potentially stacking high-intensity days on back-to-back sessions. So like Monday, Tuesday, going back-to-back. Now, the viewer commented that he believed Westside did that, and I could be wrong. It's been a while since I studied the Westside methodology, but it's been my understanding, and the times that I've been over there, that Monday was traditionally a high intensity squat day or a max effort squat day. Wednesday was a max effort bench press day, and then Friday, Saturday were the speed days. So you always had that day of rest after that big high intensity session. Now, not to say that you maybe couldn't do that back to back, but let's dive into that a little bit here. So the ideal would be, hey, Monday, we're gonna go high intensity day. Tuesday is maybe more of like a recovery day. Wednesday is a high effort day, however you want to describe it. So this is how most people would set it up. So what this commenter wanted to know was, hey, can you ever do where Monday and then Tuesday are both back-to-back high intensity days? So here's a couple things that I think you need to figure out, and you can probably answer this for yourself. So I got a couple different stipulations here. Number one, are we talking about high volume or are we talking about high intensity? So let me give you an example. If you're going high volume lower body, you may be really sore in your lower body, but your nervous system may not be as beat up. So there's an instance where you potentially could go Monday, Tuesday, back to back, and there's gonna be repercussions, right? Because I'm gonna get my red out here. There's always gonna be like this kind of effect, right, in your readiness, because if you beat yourself up on Monday, Tuesday, you're gonna come down even further. So you're gonna have to make sure, say, Wednesday and Thursday are definitely gonna be lower intensity sessions because you can't just keep beating your body down. You need that time to recover. So that's one way where you might be able to get around it, right? If you're just chasing volume versus intensity. Now, if we're talking pure intensity, it's gonna be a lot harder to recover from that. Now, the caveat here is, are you strong enough to fatigue your nervous system? And that may sound silly at first, but a beginner could probably go in on a Monday and crush their lower body, and their nervous system isn't strong enough to really produce intensity, so they're not that tired on the second day. So they could potentially go both days back to back. But I would venture to say most of your high-level power lifters, they need that day off in between because they are able to generate such high intensity levels. Their nervous system and their body needs that day off in between, or they need that active recovery day in between so that they can come back in the gym the following day and perform at a high level. So when we're talking about intensity, it really depends on how much intensity and how much fatigue can you generate in any given session. And then the final thing I wanted to mention here was, how long term are we talking? Okay, and long term is really, really important because, hey, you can do anything for a day or two, right? So you could probably go in and crush it on Monday, and just this given week, you got to kind of compress everything in, so you've got to travel or you've got something on the weekend. You can do a lot in Monday, Tuesday and blow it out, but just understand there's going to be repercussions to that, and that's where you're going to have this kind of drop off. So you're going to have to make sure that on the back end of that, you've given your body time to recover. If you don't, again, over time, that's when you can accrue those levels of fatigue. That's when your body doesn't recover the way that you would like, and that's when some of those bad things can start to happen. I'm not going to say you're overtrained, but the joints start to hurt a little bit more. You start to feel muscle strains, muscle pulls, aches, pains, that sort of thing. Now, before I let you go, I want to let you know one other thing here, and something else to think about. This is where I originally heard the term from Derek Hansen, but he was talking about microdosing. So talking about high intensity efforts, but in very small volumes. And this is something that I think a lot of people are having success with. So this is where, hey, instead of having this day where we're accruing a lot of intensity, but a lot of volume with it, maybe we go high intensity, but our volume is very low. So maybe 1 or 2 short sprints, maybe 1 or 2 very heavy lifts, and then that's it, and we shut it down. So the benefit of that is you're constantly tapping into that. You're constantly exposing the nervous system to that, which is great for desensitizing it, but you're not accruing so much volume that you see this massive level of fatigue, and you need on the back end, you don't need the same amount of recovery. So as you can see, there's a lot of ways you can skin this cat, and it really comes down to, what are your goals? what is your body prepared to handle? And ultimately, what do you need to do to recover and continue to perform at a high level? Because it's not just what you can do in one training day or one training week. It's the gains and the improvements that you accrue over a training cycle or over a lifetime. So I hope this video helped you out. If you have any follow-up questions or you just want to know more about training sessions and training weeks and how I lay them out, definitely leave me a comment in the section below and I'll be happy to answer them there.